Hello, this is Pastor Lyn with Good Lyn United Methodist Church, wishing you a happy Monday. True value is hard to come by. The Bible tells us that the last will be first, and the first will be last, in the Gospel of Matthew. In the J.M. Barrie play, The Admirable Crichton, the Earl of Loam, his family, and several friends are shipwrecked on a desert island. These nobles were adept at chattering senselessly, playing bridge, and scorning poor people. However, they had no clue how to build an outdoor fire, what it meant to clean a fish, or even cook the food. The very skills they needed to survive were beyond them. Stranded on a desert island, what the Earl's family and friends did not know was entirely useless for their survival. Had it not been for their resourceful butler, Crichton, they would have starved to death. He was the only one who possessed the basic skills to sustain life. In a great turnabout, Crichton became the group's chief executive officer. He taught the Earl and his family and their friends the skills they needed and organized their efforts to ensure their survival until their rescue. I guess you'll have to read the play or the book to find out whether or not they ever got off the island. It's always good to remind ourselves of our relative place in society. If we are on top, we need to remember we could soon be at the bottom. If we perceive ourselves as at the bottom, we need to know that in God's order, we are among the first. In The Finishing Touch, Chuck Swindoll raises the issue of perceived significance by asking about people behind these Christian greats. Ask yourself these questions. Who taught Martin Luther his theology and inspired his translation of the New Testament? Who visited with Dwight L. Moody at a shoe store and spoke to him about Christ? Who was the elderly woman who prayed faithfully for Billy Graham for over 20 years? Furthermore, who found the Dead Sea Scrolls? Where would we be without them? Who discipled George Mueller and snatched him from a sinful lifestyle? While we may not achieve the fame and recognition from people that we would like to have in this life, God doesn't call us to be well known or even admired. God calls us to be faithful to Him in whatever situation we find ourselves. When we are, we can see more clearly when He promotes us and gives us favor with others. So I invite you this week to take a look at yourself and those things in which you find true value, and know that God has even more in store. This is Pastor Lyn. Have a good and godly week.